I'll tell everyone a little bit more about RealtyShares. Is anyone here familiar with the lending club model? It's like the big fintech company. So RealtyShares, what it does basically, it's in the lending space, but we crowdfund it. So let's just say we have a developer, and it's only for commercial real estate. Let's say a developer comes up to us and they're like, all right, I want to build a mall in Las Vegas. I need $5 million. They can actually put that property up on our crowdfunding website, and individual people would put in money for that development. So if someone put in, if it's a $5 million raise, if someone put in 50,000, they get that % of returns. So if we charge the developer 10%, we take a 1% servicing fee and then give it to the investors who put on it. And crowdfunding is such an interesting concept because there's something like Kickstarter and all these interesting companies that are out there who would have such a hard time raising money are now able to raise money because of crowdfunding. They have access to a big network of people who are interested in that product and how they can really raise money off of that and get the ground hitting. So that's what RealtyShares is about. I'm happy to take specific questions, but basically think about it. If you're a commercial real estate developer, you want to build an office building in the middle of Dubai and you need $5 million, instead of going to a bank and asking them for a loan, you can actually put it up on a crowdfunding website and get individual people to invest in that company, and then you can give them returns. And actually, just to talk about the asset class, that's a very interesting asset class because a lot of people see returns coming in right away, compared to deploying money to startups and compared to being an angel investor or a VC. So we have seen a lot of success with that product. We're only US based right now because crowdfunding laws are very, very regulated in US, and we can only target accredited investors because property could not get built or they could lose their principal. But this is something that we're seeing a lot of momentum in. So we're excited about the industry.
Good morning. Thanks for the very insightful panel. I have a slightly broader question. Before I ask my question, just to put it into context, I'm David Parker with the Economic Development Board in Bahrain. We've been doing a lot of work over the last couple of years to develop our own Fintech ecosystem. We're testing a variety of innovative ideas via the blockchain through our regulatory sandbox. We've launched crowdfunding regulation for debt, equity and Sharia compliant crowdfunding, and we're about to launch a new dedicated fintech hub where we can develop more proof of concepts. But I still think that we're some way behind Silicon Valley, which of course has decades of experience as a hub for innovation, and certainly Finland, which is a country that I've admired for many years, again for being a real source of innovation regionally and internationally. So my question is what the cities, regions and countries represented here from the Gulf can learn from Silicon Valley, can learn from Finland. What your advice would be to us all in terms of driving our ecosystem moving forward?
I can take that. I think the ecosystem and the culture means so much. And what the companies can take from it, it's a two-sided thing. So it definitely requires a mindset of capital, because innovation is only going to be driven if there's capital available. A lot of people in Silicon Valley are very happy to deploy even a little bit of money in startups because they see the value. And they don't have a short-term thinking, and that's where there's a lot more innovation coming out. So I completely think that capital is a really big driver. I know there's a lot of capital in Gulf countries, but angel investors are not deploying it fast enough because they have a much shorter-term view, and for innovation to happen, it needs to be longer-term. Another reason, so that's the capital side. Another thing that makes Silicon Valley very successful is the regular public's mindset is about innovation. Every single person there is thinking about, how can I improve this better? How can I be more efficient? And they know that if they have an idea, that idea will be supported because there are a lot of people who think the same way as them. So in order to develop a strong ecosystem in the Gulf countries, I absolutely think capital has to go with the mindset of people, because you can have very, very smart people, very talented technical talent, but if they don't have the capital to build companies, they're gonna go build that elsewhere. So I think they both go hand in hand.